the fucking not fucking Hansel, not Hamlet, the new one with the dude who does the singing.
Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
All right, we're joined by Stephen Vogt, the manager of the Cleveland Guardians. First time coming back on the podcast since I believe it was starting 9. Like you came on the bus. What were you with the D-backs at the time?
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, D-backs. Yeah.
Yes. So I believe in Stephen Vogt, and it's because Dallas Braden speaks to your character so often. Anytime that you come up, he's got stories for days. So I'm going to start with this. How did your Oakland A's experience help shape your character so that you could step into a managerial role and have immediate success?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's good to see you guys. It's good to be on here. I think anybody who's played for an extended amount of time for the Oakland A's, you have an appreciation just for what hard work looks like, for what determination. And I think watching Bob Melvin manage for 5 years and then getting to go back and play for Mark Kotsay in his first year, like watching those two guys, learning from them and modeling a lot of what I do after the way those guys did things. It just sets you up for success. But just being in Oakland A, you're built different. Like you experience things. Everybody's a grinder. You're out there with guys that are just like you, and I couldn't be more thankful for that experience.
You talk about BoMel, you talk about Kotz. Is there anything that you think that you would be able to identify now? Because as Jared said, you were on before us or before with us as a Diamondback. You're now 2-time Manager of the Year, and that doesn't just happen. That's not just an award that falls into somebody's lap. That's not recognition that they just bestow upon anybody just because they have to. Things have to click. Things have to be done the right way. I got to spend time with you, Voter, at your charity event, which was awesome, by the way. Shout out School of Imagination. But can you think of anything off the top of your head that you've maybe gleaned from BoMel, gleaned from Kotz, that you can go, you know what? They probably had a hand in this. They probably had a hand in that, because all throughout the night at the event, members of your staff would just kind of take me aside, get to talking, and they're like, how do you not follow this dude, right? Like, how are you not on this dude's wagon? And that doesn't come without learning some things, as you kind of pointed out.
Yeah, I think the big thing I took from BoMel was like the consistency. When you see BoMel in a dugout, you don't know if that team's up 5, down 5. He was so steady every day. He knew when to talk to us, when to leave us alone, knew when to kick you in the backside, when to hug you. He just had such a good feel for us individually as players and for what our team needed. But just that constant presence in the dugout, I feel like I've tried to take that and make it my own. Obviously, I'm my own person, but just that level of, I hope nobody knows what the situation of the game is when they see me in the dugout. Like, I try that super hard. I show a little more excitement maybe than BoMel ever did, but that's who I am. And from Kotz, anybody who's been around Mark Kotsay, you feel the passion from him wherever he goes. I mean, that first year in 2022, he couldn't have been dealt a tougher group to manage. I mean, we struggled on the field. It was a group of a bunch of young guys. And so I really got to understand and talk with him. I was 37 years old. They brought Jake Taylor back. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, I was able to talk with Kotz maybe a little more than some of the other players, but I saw passion and desire for us to be better every day, and he exuded that. And that helps me, like, now in this job of like that passion, I'm able to channel that.
Is it weird to manage against a guy that you just played for? Like, I mean, because usually, I mean, there's guys that you look around the dugout and you're like, future manager right there. Like, that guy sits right next to the manager, and like, I can see one day you're going to be a great manager. But it was kind of just like, all right, playing career's over. Now I'm going to be a manager. I'm actually the best manager in the league, and the manager that I just played for is in the same league as me, and then I'm going to do it again the next year. So I'm just going to keep doing the whole manager of the year thing. Is that weird for you, or is it just like, yeah, like I kind of mentally envisioned that this was the path all along. I'm kind of just fulfilling the prophecy at this point?
I mean, it happened fast, and I don't take that lightly or for granted. There's so many good baseball people in this game that have been in it for a really long time that haven't gotten that opportunity yet, and I don't take that for granted. I feel super blessed that I've been able to have this opportunity in Cleveland. And you talk about managing against, like, I think that's one of the most overused phrases that we have. Like, I'm managing our team. They're managing theirs. And so when I do look across, it's almost like, oh yeah, there's Kotsay, or oh yeah, there was BoMel. And, so for me, I try to be so fixated on what we're doing that I don't really ever think about what the other team is doing. There's no surprises in baseball. We know who you have on the bench. You have to get the reliever up before they come into the game. So there's, it's really hard to get caught off guard, and it happens because some people do stuff they've never done before. But at the same time, you're prepared because you know who's there, who's in the building. And so for me, it's like, as long as I can keep my focus solely on our team, it helps me not go those places of like, holy cow, BoMel's been doing this for like 40 years. He's forgotten more than I can even begin to think I know. And so that it allows me to not get overwhelmed by those things.
Yeah.
Can you think
Jay
of...
Hayes, our resident Guardians fan, so I'm sure he has a flurry of questions.
Yeah. Jay, fire away.
Yeah, so I have at least one I'd like to start with. For people who have not spent time with or didn't grow up in, or spent time in or didn't grow up in Cleveland, what's one thing now that you've gotten to settle in there as opposed to popping in there that you would say has really grown on you or caught you off guard in a positive way?
I think as a visiting player, you don't get to appreciate how beautiful the surrounding areas of Cleveland are. You're downtown, staying at the Jack Casino. You're walking to the ballpark, and it's a great walk to the park. It was always one of my favorites. But once you get out, we live out on the west side, and the metro parks and just Lake Erie itself, like it is so beautiful in Cleveland. And that was something that I really did not understand until I actually got a chance to live there and explore a little bit.
Before I give up the Cleveland Rock, one other one. So obviously José Ramírez, long-term extension this offseason. Obviously, I know you're probably thrilled about that. Great player, but have you taken, like, has it soaked in at all that, like, you're managing a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the great, like truly a guy that I know you walk in, you see Tommy's statue out front, like a guy who's going to have one of those. Like, that's particularly with this extension, like that's what Joe Ram's going to be. How much thought have you given that since the extension or before?
I don't think it's sunk in yet. Getting to watch José Ramírez play 162 games, I would buy a ticket to that. And I get paid to do it. Like, it's the coolest part of this job is that we get to watch José play every day. He's who I hope my sons play baseball like as they get older. I mean, he plays baseball the right way. He doesn't have any weaknesses. Like, he is a 5-tool player, the best base runner in baseball, one of the best hitters from both sides of the plate, a great defender, and an even better teammate. He makes everyone around. I mean, I was joking. Yesterday was our first day of full squad workout, and it was like the energy volume level just got turned up by 5 because José was on the field. He makes you want to be better, and he doesn't even have to say anything. It's like, we all need to get better for José. And it is such a joy to watch him play every day and to feel like I get to manage one of the best players in the game. It is a privilege that I do not take lightly.
You talk about having a great front row seat to what you're doing, what's going on. What has been something that has caught you off guard? One of the things that you initially found yourself like, I'm not sure I saw this coming. What in the moment were you thinking? What was that moment?
I mean, I've been caught off guard way more times than I can remember, so I'm going through the Rolodex. But, I think the biggest thing that caught me off guard is just how busy every single day is. And those little, like, 10-second interactions with people, like, they're so meaningful. It could be in game. It could be before the game. It could be on the plane. It could be when you're in the hotel lobby. And it's just like, you have to be on 24/7. And I was not prepared for that. And like, I adapted and learned very quickly to that. But that, for me, like, whoever pops into the office, that little 1 minute interaction might be one of the most important parts of their day or their week. And you've got to be ready for it and receive that and give full energy, no matter what it is.
I got to ask about last year, 15 and a half games back. And obviously it's not, you don't get to 15 and a half games back and then go, all right, boys, we're going to lock in. Today's the first day of the rest of our lives. Like, you're not going to give a speech that day. But at what point, when the comeback started to gradually mount, is it like when you get to like single digits, is there some sort of message of, all right, we can do this? Like, we're within striking distance now. At what point of that historic comeback within the division did you as a group or you as a manager acknowledge it?
You know, I don't know if we ever acknowledged it. You know, I think when you get caught in that position where I think we were 8 games under 500. We had just lost 10 in a row. And we had a week before the All-Star break. And we had to win. And we rattled off 6 out of 7. So we had a good feeling going into the All-Star break. And then there was a point when we were in Texas and we lost 9 out of 10 again. And we had already rattled off some good baseball, but, you know, I did have a team meeting that day and I just said, look, we got 5 weeks left. None of you are going to look up 5 weeks from now and wish you wouldn't have worked as hard as you could have. Like, we need to dedicate 5 weeks to all of us working as absolute hard as we can, giving everything we have, the belief that we can do this, and let's see what happens. And I totally forgot that I had done that. And then one of our players reminded me of that after the year. But, you know, our guys, we were 11 back on September 1st. And I don't think it felt real until we got to Detroit and we were 6.5 back and we knew we had 6 games left with Detroit. And that was when the confidence of our group walking into Detroit was through the roof. It was like, no, we're going to do this. It was no longer, hey, we've got a shot or we can do this. It was 100% we're going to do this. And our guys just willed their way to doing it. And I couldn't have been more proud of them.
It was incredible.
Do you have
as a neutral fan? It
was a blast to watch. I mean, and during that stretch, you talk about walking into Detroit. Was there anything that you felt was sort of internally tipping the hand, meaning, all right, I see this coming together. I've had the meeting, but as you just pointed out, I don't really even remember having that meeting. I don't really remember what I said in the meeting. I knew something had to be done. Was there a moment though where you're kind of looking at your staff like, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Like, can you kind of take us through what that was feeling like?
You know, when in September, you know, one of our AGMs had the idea of a 6-man rotation. We started talking it out and it was more of like, hey, these guys are all approaching their innings, you know, level that they pitched to. What should we do? And we started talking, pitching coaches, everybody put our heads together. It's like, yeah, we should try the 6-man rotation. And those dudes rattled off, I think it was 19 straight 2 or fewer runs. I mean, you can't make it up. Like those guys, it was like, oh, you went eight innings, 1 run, watch this. I'm going to go 8 innings, no runs. And they were like competing with each other and one-upping each other. And it was just start after start after start, giving us a chance to win. And we were showing up to the ballpark, you know, with that mindset every single day. Like, we're winning. I don't know. There wasn't anybody talking about it, but it was just that confidence of like, we're going to win today. And so there wasn't like this one moment throughout this whole year where it's like, you can pinpoint that. It was more of like this group of guys with everything they went through last year on the field, off the field, you name it, nothing got them down. And that speaks to the leadership in that room. José Ramírez, Austin Hedges, David Fry, Bo Naylor, Stephen Kwan, all these guys just didn't allow anyone to have a bad day at any point throughout the year. And it's a credit to them.
Yeah, I mean, to your point,
God.
I was just going to say, to your point, the starters finished with almost 900 innings, second most innings in baseball, 10th in team ERA, or tied for 4th, in team ERA, 10th in starters ERA. So I think it's nice that you identify the quote unquote slack being picked up at just the right time because you know how difficult that is. Jared, I don't know where you were going. What I wanted to ask now, we know that it's early in camp. Do you have any names that you are clearly way too early and way too excited about that have kind of opened your eyes? Because we know where the production has come from. You've outlined that, but I think it's always fun to be surprised as a manager, especially this early in camp.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably rattle off the entire roster because that's who I am. But I'll tell you who's looking great early. And Bo Naylor made a great swing adjustment this winter. I think anybody who's watched our games, you see what Bo does for this pitching staff and leading them behind the plate. And you can see all the ingredients of a great hitter there. And he made a big swing adjustment during the year last year, but really got it locked in. I'm excited to watch Bo's year. CJ Kafis is another guy that had a great offseason. He put on maybe 10 pounds and looks great. Kyle Manzardo's put on 14 pounds. Kyle went from Kyle to Manzo this offseason. Manzo's ready to rock. And so, with George Valera and Chase DeLauder getting a brief look at them, like those are two guys that can absolutely rake. So I'm really excited. We got the same group of guys that went through all the crap they went through and finished strong, and we played our best baseball. That whole group is back. And that's what has me super pumped about where we're going to pick up and get running.
In your division, the Detroit Tigers brought back certified first ballot Hall of Famer Justin Verlander and added him to Framber Valdez and Tarek Skubal. It's a star-studded rotation. So I'm going to ask you this question. You can bring back any player from Guardians /Indians history, retire, like take them from their prime, or if they're in the league right now, and put them on your team today in their prime. What player are you bringing back to Cleveland?
Manny Ramirez.
Yes.
Like that swing, I just want to watch him hit every day. Like you go Cleveland, Manny Ramirez. I mean, holy cow. He was the first one. I mean, I also thought about Albert Bell just freaking raking. I mean, can we just bring back the 95 Indians?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Jim Tomei. Yeah, those dudes could mash. Yes, I'm glad that you didn't even have to think about it. That's why you're the manager of the year every year. That's why. That's
the most beautiful right-handed swing in the history of baseball.
It is. It'll never be topped. That's why everyone says that me and Manny have the same swing. I actually showed it to Manny at the MLB Draft Combine last summer, and he looked at my swing and he was like, "That's my swing." And I said, "Yes, we have the best swing, perhaps of all time in terms of right-handed hitters." I think
we have different definitions of everyone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, coming from Manny himself, I mean, I don't need Dallas's approval on that. You know, if you want to check it out, I'm happy to report to camp. I have nothing to do. I have nothing to do.
Voter, I can get you some footage from the MLB Combine that'll kind of. I mean, not that you needed the answer.
Anyway, but, we were gonna play Family Feud, right? We were gonna play the Feud. Jay, hey, do you have one more question?
No, I'm ready for the Feud. We can hit it.
Okay.
Oh, welcome back to Baseball is Dead Family Feud. I'm your man, Justin Havens. Very special episode, celebrity episode. It's going to be Guardians manager Stephen Vogt and Dallas Braden. What a duo. Since you're our guest, I'll defer to you. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll go second.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right. Dallas is going to lead off here. So if you could
just mute.
You know what?
So
we
you
should
don't
have
hear what
Voter
I
go.
say.
Or we should have Voter go first, so Dallas can take off his.
I'll go first.
Yeah, so Dallas can take off his mic.
Yeah, take your headphones off, Dallas.
Yeah, take them off, Dave.
Yeah, don't cheat. He cheats all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not surprised to hear that. All right, some baseball, some not. Tried to hit on some potential other interests of yours in this feud thing based on some research. So we'll see how well we did here, but either way, we'll have some fun. All right. Question number one. As always, this is it's just fast money. That's the only part of this game. I don't know how much Dallas has described. 5 questions. Each is out of 100. Our Discord are the 100 people who were polled. And are you ready?
Yes.
Great. Question number 1. Name Chris Farley's best movie.
Tommy Boy.
Question number 2. Name what you consider to be the greatest Broadway show of all time.
Wicked.
Question 3. Barry Bonds had 8 hits in the 2002 World Series. Name one of the 2 Giants players who had more hits that series.
Rich Aurelia.
Question 4. If Stephen Vogt and Dallas Braden squared off for 10 at-bats right now, how many hits are you, Stephen Vogt, getting?
Oh,
2.
2? Oh my God, I would get.
He's too
8.
modest. He's too modest.
Left on left.
Final question. Name the number of times in a row a person can win the Manager of the Year award before you start to feel badly for everyone else.
Never.
Wow. Okay.
All right, DB.
I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to read lips there.
They cheat.
Are you
How
ready,
we do,
D?
Jay? Hey,
Oh, solid. Very solid. We're in a good spot. We're in a good spot.
is there any fuckery vote? Was there a question in there that he absolutely that there's just no answering because that's a favorite play by Jay Hay when he knows he's getting
the
fucking.
last question was hard for me to answer for sure.
Oh, great standard. Okay.
All right, D, you ready? You know the rules. You don't do very well knowing the rules, but you know them, right?
Fucking crush. I'm ready for this.
Question number 1. Name Chris Farley's best movie.
Tommy Boy. Oh fuck. Fucking Black Sheep. Black Sheep.
There you go. Question 2. Name what you consider to be the greatest Broadway show of all time.
Ooh. The fucking not fucking Hansel, not Hamlet. The new one with the dude who does the singing. Hamilton. That one.
Okay. Yeah, the new one. We'll call Hamilton new.
Oh, the new one, you know.
Yeah. Question 3. Barry Bonds had 8 hits in the 2002 World Series.
Okay.
Name one of the 2 Giants players who had more hits that series.
Jeff Kent.
Question 4. If Stephen Vogt and Dallas Braden squared off for 10 at-bats right now, how many hits does Stephen Vogt get?
Probably. No, you know what? Not 4. You're not going to rake me. 3. He's going to hit 300. 3. Easily 3.
I think you're both.
Probably with some
low.
damage too.
Question 5, final question. Name the number of times in a row a person can win the Manager of the Year award before you start to feel badly for everyone else.
I got a feeling voter was modest here. I would say at 3, you're going like, really? Seriously, guys? Like, this is locked up. Like, stop it.
All right. Let's see where we landed here. We need 200 points. Question number 1. Name Chris Farley's best movie. Voter cleaned up right away. Tommy Boy, 62 points right off the bat.
Oh, God.
That's well on your way. 30% of the way right there.
Damage.
Dallas hemmed and hawed a little bit. He landed with Black Sheep. There was obviously a massive fall off to the other options here if 62 is the top, but Dallas got 6 points. That was the number 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a better movie than that.
Yeah,
It is.
that's sorry, that was the number 2. Sorry, number 2 overall answer. There were a bunch of answers that were kind of nonsense. But
Jared
62
Busey was in that one.
Yep, 68 points.
Drake Savage.
Through question 1.
Tell you what I can do. I go to your mother's house and start a small fire in her panties.
Question 2. Name what you consider. Am I right that you have that you've expressed an interest in Broadway before.
I love it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. I want to make sure I wasn't off base there. Name what you consider to be the greatest Broadway show of all time. Vogt said Wicked. That was the number one overall answer.
Wow.
28 points.
Let's go.
Cleaning the house right now.
Brings you up to 96 points. Dallas, he said that new one, not
The new
Hansel. Not Hansel. It's Hamilton.
Yeah.
That was tied for the number 2 overall answer. Another 12 points. So we're up to 108 points through 2
I would have said
questions.
rats.
You guys are, I'm sorry?
Yeah. Wasn't Joey Fatone from NSYNC in Rats?
If that was one, it didn't make anyone's list here. Yeah.
Good to know.
Rats not on the Mount Rushmore of Broadway shows.
I thought you
as it
meant
turns
Cats and we're just botching that.
Yeah, so did I. That's why I asked,
maybe.
because Cats would have gotten you 6 points. That's why I'm
It
asking.
could have been Cats. It could have been.
Yeah,
Fucking
that
guy.
makes more sense, I think.
Let's see. Joey Fatone, Broadway. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, that's fine. Question 3.
Nice pull.
Barry Bonds had 8 hits in the 2002 World Series. Name one of the 2 Giants players who had more hits in that series. Voter said Rich Aurelia. That is, Aurelia had 8. So he had as many. It doesn't really matter if you're right or wrong. It's really just what the respondent said. But just for record, Aurelia had 8. So as many as Bonds. Dallas said Aurelia was worth 3 points. So you get up to 111 with that answer. Dallas said Jeff Kent. That was the overwhelming number 1 answer, worth 44 points, which is fortunate for you guys that, Dallas got it right while not being factually correct. For anybody who wants to know for posterity, the answer is JT Snow and Kenny Lofton. JT Snow had 11 hits. Kenny Lofton had 9. Aurelia Bonds and Jeff Kent each had 8. So a little bit of a tricky question, but you guys exited. You guys exited it with plenty of points. What's
Just
up?
saw JT Snow recently. Doing well.
Yes, we did.
Joey Fatone was in Rent, and I thought about Cats, and then combined Rent and Cats into Rats, which is not a Broadway play. It's not. Yeah,
that's a rapid.
Rent's a good one too, though.
Yeah,
Rent's a good show.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
I would love to see it.
Rent would have gotten you 7. Rats not on the board.
Not a play. Not a play.
Stay hot.
We are at 155, so you need 45 points combined over the final 2 questions.
Okay.
Question 4: if Vogt and Dallas squared off for 10 at bats right now, how many hits does Vogt get? What a modest man. He said 2. Citing left on left, that was worth only 7 points to bring you up to 162. That was tied for the 7th most common answer. Dallas had 3. That was a little bit more of a popular answer. That was worth 11 points. 4th
Discourse
most common answer to bring you up to 173. Yeah, the discourse, I mean, Vogt can be forgiven because he's not on this podcast every time. Dallas should have known that the Discord's going to vote get his ass
10.
kicked.
Yeah.
10 hits would have been the number 1 overall answer. That would have yielded 21 points.
That's why Jay Hayes a criminal and the Discourse can kiss my ass, Motor.
Yeah. 10, 6, and 7 were the most common answers. So if there's points left on the board, we can blame that one, I think. I think that's the one we're going to point to. Final question. You guys need 27 points. Name the number of times in a row a person can win the Manager of the Year award before you start to feel badly for everybody else. Fuck them, says Vogt. Never. That was worth 11 points.
Wow. Okay.
To bring you up to 184. So we have 16 points between you guys and history. Dallas said some level of modesty. He said 3 would be when you would tap out and start to feel badly for people. Did Dallas come through with the victory? You know he did. Hit it. 58 points. Victory! So a 2026 Manager of the Year award for Vogt would be where things get awkward for everybody else. You guys win. You clear 200 points. That was the only answer, by the way, that Dallas could have provided there that would have won you guys that Family Feud. Everything else was 12 or fewer points. So congrats to you guys.
And like a good pitcher, I just follow my catcher's lead. He puts the fingers down. I try to execute. And what happens when you do that? You win, Discourse. That's what happens. You win. 10 for 10. Kiss my ass.
Oh, yeah. Both of you contributed 100 or more points. So it was definitely a team effort.
It's big time.
That's what we do.
That's big time.
That's what we do.
Would you like to give a winning speech, Mr. Vogt?
I'd just like to thank Dallas for having me on this podcast. Dallas for all of his knowledge and useless facts and information. Couldn't be more thrilled to have a better teammate. I've always wanted to win Family Feud, and I couldn't be more grateful that I did it with the great Dallas Braden. And you would punch my ticket left on left.
Wow.
I would be hoping that Voters bat dragging through the zone would just run out of just enough wood, just enough that I'm able to get that tired slight beast by him. Odds, probably not, because Voter, for the folks who are unaware of it, and there's not many of them, I told you this when we were together a month or so ago, but if you haven't seen the video, please go back and watch what I consider to be one of the greatest moments in Oakland A's history, and that's Stephen Vogt in his final at-bat with his children announcing his name. The final swing he takes results in a fucking mammo. And as I called him, his Ninja Turtle hands came out and just around the bases, losing his mind. Just an incredible moment. And if I was on the mound for that, I'm probably the one who's giving that shit up. So I appreciate the humbleness, Voter. But thanks for having us have you on this podcast, my man. It's been an absolute pleasure. Look forward to seeing everything you and the guards do in 2026, and I'll be seeing you soon, my man.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks for having me, guys. It was a lot of fun. It's good to catch up.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right.